ShowMeFlyGuy.blogspot.com.
Hey guys, Tyler, aka the Show Me Fly Guy from ShowMeFlyGuy.blogspot.com. Hey, back with another How I Do It video. I had a great response from How I Do It fly fishing for bluegill, so I decided to do another video. This is nymphing for trout, fly fishing for trout, and nymphing for trout specifically. And let me go ahead and put the disclaimer out there, because I always like to put this out there in case there's anybody trolling or trying to hate on the video or whatever. Listen, I'm self-taught. I have flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying this is the way that everyone should do it. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, or I call it the best way to do it. I say this is the How I Do It video series. So I'm saying this is how I do it. This is what works for me, and hopefully this is what works for you. Maybe it simplifies things. Maybe it makes things easier. But ultimately, I just hope you catch more fish. All right, so here we go. What is nymphing? Nymphing is basically you're trying to imitate something in the middle of the water column. Sure, you can nymph towards the top of the water column, towards the bottom of the water column, probably a little more productive, but you're trying to imitate something that is going to be in that middle. Probably something that's not just hatched, but not quite an adult, something that is going to be in the middle of that water column. And there's lots of things that can be. Okay, so where and when do you use this strategy? Number one, use it on trout streams and rivers. Still water is, it's tough to do on still water, let me put it to you that way. Next, you can use it any time of year. When things are slow in the summer, slow in the winter, when things are great in the fall and the spring. Nymphing works all the time. Now, it's not the most exciting thing. It's not watching a fish come up and grab your dry fly. It's not stripping big articulated streamers, catching big fish. But it works consistently. It puts fish on the end of your line. All right, for me, I use this strategy in deeper pools, slow water, big holes. I know it's a little boring, but hey, we're here to catch fish, man. This catches fish, I promise. I've caught wild rainbows, stalker browns, small stalker rainbows, 2 to 4 pound rainbows. This works, I promise. It'll keep you busy all day long, keep you catching fish all day long. All right, here's the rod set. All right, number one, I use a 8.5 foot Woodard Pinnacle 4-weight. This is by far my favorite trout rod that I have right now. I use 2 pounds of straight fluorocarbon, like right off the spool. No tapered leaders, no tippet, no nothing. I started this when I was right out of college and cheap, and it works and it's effective, and I never strayed from it because it worked. All right, use 9 foot a leader, 9 feet. If your leader gets too short, you snip off the end of your 2 pound fluorocarbon, put on a new leader. Who cares? It's like $8 for a spool. That's like 10 cents a leader. Next, I use a nail knot collection. Nail knot connection when I connect the leader to the fly line. All right. Next, when I connect my fly to the actual leader, that's when I use an improved clinch knot. I use that knot all the time, pretty much everything I can fish. Next, the indicator. This is huge. This is where you want to match your indicator to the size of your fly. A really, really light fly takes a really, really small indicator. Big, heavy flies that get down deep and quick, bigger indicators. If you're running a tandem rig, which means a heavier fly at the bottom and maybe a smaller fly trailing off the back, you might want to bump up that indicator. The most important thing is that you are able to see everything that indicator is indicating. I know, crazy, right? Weird name, but it's right. So you want to get that right. If there's any movement, any activity, any nibble, any nudge, any bump, anything, you want to see it. So get the indicator paired to the size of the fly. All right. If it takes a whole bunch of pressure to bring that fly down with that indicator, you probably need to bump down the indicator size. All right, next, fly selection. I use mini jigs. People turn their nose up at that. I don't really care. It catches fish. I use white mini jigs, brown mini jigs, black mini jigs, whatever. You can use pheasant tails, hare's ears, stonefly, San Juan worms, scuds, midges, zebra midges specifically, copper johns, all kinds of stuff, tandem rigs. There's all kinds of things you can use when you're nymphing. Next, how do I do it? Well, number one, I start off close to the bank first. I try not to get in the water. I try and fish that near bank first. Then I get out a little bit further, fish that middle section, which isn't always the most productive, but then I end with fishing that far side of the bank. Most fish are going to be up in the water column, down in the water column, or on the sides. Fish in that middle of the middle probably isn't the most effective, but hey, you got to give it a try. Especially if it's slow water, you'll probably find a few. Next, mend. If you don't know how to mend, learn how to mend. Watch YouTube videos on how to mend. Maybe I'll do a how I do it mending video, and learn how to dead drift. Dead drifting is huge. If you don't dead drift, you're not going to catch fish nymphing. You're going to think I'm doing everything right, but if you're not mending, if you're not dead drifting, it won't work. You cover a lot more water. You get the most out of each cast. Get long, long, long drifts on your nymphing, because those are the most fun. When you hook a fish that's 50 feet downstream, oh my gosh, that's so much fun because it's a long hookup. It's a long fight. You got to bring that fish in a long way, and hey, that's what we're here for, right? Fun. Do it. All right, bites. Okay, this is the maddening part. I'm not gonna lie. Bites can be gentle. They can be impossible. Like there's no way you're gonna hook them. They can be really aggressive. Like there's no way you can miss them. They can be subtle, like a guy from Plattsburgh, Missouri once said. They can be a little persnickety. You're gonna miss fish, but you're gonna hook fish. You're gonna catch a lot of fish, but be prepared. You're gonna miss a few. And finally, hey, if you're catching more than 50% of the fish that you think you're getting bites from, you're doing great. Especially as a newbie, you're doing great, all right? I had a morning this morning where I caught 3 fish on 3 bites. I thought I was king of the world, all right? If you're doing better than 50%, you're doing great. If you're doing worse than 50%, hey, it's probably the fish's fault. They're probably persnickety. That's not your fault. Wait till tomorrow when they get all aggressive, and things will be much better at that point. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go to some footage that I shot this morning. Not gonna lie to you. I caught some fish nymphing. I thought, hey, what a great time to do a nymphing video. So, we're gonna go to some footage from this morning. I'm trying to get my nymph to be the first thing downstream. I'm trying to get that fly to be the first thing they see. Not the leader, not the fly line, nothing. Through mending, through fly selection, through indicator selection, all of those things. All right, so here we go. Let's go to some good footage. And if you have any questions, hey, like the video, dislike the video, got constructive criticism, I'm always open to that. If you got positive feedback, let me know, okay? You know what? Enough talking. Let's go fishing. Let's go. Let's do it.
Joey Flagga, let's catch some fish already!
Hey guys, of course, I don't have a camera rolling when I catch this thing, but this is by far the biggest trout of the trip. Real nice female. Caught it dead drifting, caught it nymphing. This one's coming home. My dad wants to eat some trout. There's a trout park. We're eating trout tonight. So I'll get the tail of the tape later, how long she is, how much she weighs, but probably close to 2 pounds. But yeah, nymphing works. Nymphing catches fish, and the rain doesn't hurt. And fishing in a Missouri trout park doesn't hurt either. Good stuff.
You know what? You want a YouTube channel? You got a YouTube channel. I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, were you born in a barn?